Welcome to Peaceful Streaming. So I'm back at the home clinic job, um, and my computer is being contrary. Um, so this dog looks so sad. I'm not sure I can keep this dog because he just looks so sad all the time, no matter what I do. So I don't know. It makes me sad. Um, how about tug of war? They all like tug of war. I'm too close. Okay, there. So that makes him feel a little happier, right? I'm not sure if that's happy. I guess he's happy. So maybe I should mow um, while there's still a certain amount of light. Not a ton of light, but okay. I never remember how to get out of this. There. Okay. So, so yeah, I guess I should mow. It completely, okay, now he looks happy. Completely freaks me out to mow though, because the pets don't move out of the way, and then you can actually mow through them, but it completely freaks me out, as you can imagine. I mean, that's, you know. So, okay, now he looks a little less sad. But anyway, so let's mow. So I'm still getting over this cold or whatever. So I was just doing a Stardew Valley stream, which actually usually is less difficult for me than House Flipper. And I was really zoning out. So I'm a little concerned. I'm definitely going to be a little zoned out. So I apologize in advance. Yeah. This really hit me hard. And it's something that I'm pretty sure I had a couple months ago, because it's got these really weird symptoms where my eyes get sore and my lips dry up and get chapped in like half a day. It was really strange. So, so it was just kind of, and there was something else that now I can't remember, but like a unique set of symptoms. So I was like, okay, great. I can't chalk this one up to, um, what happens a lot of the time is if I'm sick, then I do the shot for my MS, which lowers my immune system. And then, so if I do the shot and I actually was like in the process of getting better and feeling better from whatever I had, then I get kind of like sick again, except it's not, like there's a clear reason. And so that happens a lot. And this is like really, really sick. So, and it totally like toasted my brain, which is really irritating because I have a lot of work to do. So, anyway, and I just realized, so I volunteered to help with commencement, and I have to be on campus at 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. And I normally do my shot on Friday night, so yeah, that's not going to happen until at least I get back from commencement. I think I'm done at like 9:30 or something, and I will be out of there at 9:30. Like on the dot, because I will desperately, I'm not a morning person, so I will like be desperately wanting to get home and just stare into space or something. So that ought to be interesting. And we've also been going through something that I was thinking about, and I thought it might actually be helpful for someone if I talked about this. So my son, and he will not mind me talking about this because we talk about it on our YouTube channel, that I haven't put a video on for like 6 months, and I really have to, and that's something I hope to do this weekend. We have one that we taped or videoed. I haven't edited it. But anyways, for people with depression and anxiety. So he talks about this all the time. So I'm not I'm not betraying any confidences. So he's suffered from depression for 12 years, I would say, is when it really started. Oddly enough, the same age that when he was 7, the same age that I was when it started, really visibly started for me. And so so I'm not suicidal when I'm depressed. This is just one of those things that people's depressions are very different. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason why he is and I'm not. We don't know what it is because we really don't know enough about depression at this point. It's very, very complicated because our brains are very complicated. So anyway, so as many health insurers tend to do in the beginning of the year, for some reason that I don't quite understand, they decided to switch his antidepressant to a generic. And I was like, so this is without any notice. We just go to the pharmacy, pick up his prescription, and it's like, this is generic. He usually gets brand name. Yet your insurance has said that they want to switch it to generic. And I was like, oh, in an unprintable word that I won't repeat, because my own experience with generic medication has not been has not been without its problems. And so I was like, well, I knew what would happen if we said he has to have name brand. They would say, how do you know? And it would be very hard to get authorized. So so that was, like I said, in January or sometime after January. I'm not sure when his medication actually ran out and we filled it, because we get 3 months at a time for most of our stuff. So then he starts getting, he doesn't, of course, doesn't tell us because he just is very stoic, but so he's been depressed for a while. And then he stops, like a couple weeks ago. He tells me he hasn't showered for 5 days and he knows that's really bad. And I was like, yeah, because you let maybe one day go by without showering. And I'm like, so things are not going well? No, they're really not. So then we call his doctor and say to her, so he's got another prescription refill coming up, but you have to put in that he can only have name brands. And there's certain different terms, like name brand medically necessary is something that in one way or another the doctors are supposed to say for the insurance company to fill your medication with name brand. And this obviously can apply to a lot of different things. I know someone, for instance, who has epilepsy and had problem with their when she was taking anticonvulsant medication. And epilepsy, at least on this medication, it's one of those things where they do blood levels. So they occasionally have you come in, they draw your blood, and then they see what the level of medication is in your blood. And this is something that I used to do on the first antidepressant I was on. They had to do that to find what's called the therapeutic level of medication, whether you had a therapeutic level of medication in your blood. And if not, then they raise the dosage. So anyway, she actually testified before Congress because they were looking into generics in I think it was probably the 80s. So as I said, I've had a lot of problems with generics. So I have several medications that my doctor has to say brand name medically necessary, and every once in a while, the health insurance company, frequently tries to jerk me around and tell the pharmacist to give me a generic, And then we have to go through this whole rigmarole where my doctor then has to, do whatever they have to do to make sure I'm getting a name brand instead of generic. And I always try the generic. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And some are worse. Some are not bad, the generics, and I actually take a lot of generics. But then there are some that really suck. Like there's this one company called Mylan. I've tried 2 different medicines of theirs in generic form, both patches, and they suck. Like they don't stay on. One was for lidocaine. Oh, look, a squirrel. And the other one was hormones. Not only do they not stay on, like I literally had to tape them on with stuff because the adhesive wasn't working. But there's literally no medication in them. I mean, I think that, and I've had several different prescriptions of these, and so this is not like a just quality control problem where it happens once in a while. So, and then I went online and people were like, "Oh yeah, these absolutely suck. They don't work. They don't stay on. There's the exact same thing problems I had." So if anyone tries to tell you, "Oh, all generics are perfect. They are high quality," blah blah blah. Yeah, no, not the case. Um, it's something that you'll see online. I saw this article that was like all these myths about generics, and it just was like, come on, you cannot make sweeping statements like that, first of all. And there may be some kind of, I mean, maybe some people are physiologically, for whatever reason, maybe I need more medication. I mean, who knows? But as I said, with this one company, it wasn't just me. So the thing is that, so we've been through this, with my stuff. But my son has been suicidal ever since, ever since he was started being depressed, he was suicidal. So this is like not something you mess around with. He knows to talk to us if he's doing really poorly. He knows that I will ask him frequently when he's having trouble. So is this, so are the suicidal thoughts just completely hypothetical, or do you have plans? Do you have specific plans you're thinking of? Or are these just, kind of vague thoughts and you have no intention of acting on them? Where are we right now? Like, where are you with that? And he'll talk to me. And, so he knows I'll check in with him. He knows he can come talk to me and say, hey, things are getting worse. So, so what concerns me is that the reason we do this is because I have experience with it with depression. I have had years of helping people, with depression, and reading about depression and suicide and everything. What concerns me is all the people who don't know to ask these specific questions and think maybe also if you talk to someone with depression that you're going to make them suicide, and ask them about suicide, it's going to give them ideas, which it doesn't. So it's perfectly safe to talk to the person. And in fact, it's a good idea because you could dissuade them. Keeping the communication open is really, really essential. Give them a lifeline and, keep the communication open so they know that they can talk to you about it without feeling like you're going to freak out or whatever. Anyway, so we got on the, we figured we had taken care of the problem with his medication, because we talked to his doctor. Well, we check in with the pharmacy. They filled his medication using generic, and we were like, yeah, no, the doctor said it has to be brand name. And they were like, yeah, no, the health insurer won't approve it. And we were like, oh, for Christ's sake. So my husband has spent, I don't know how much time on the phone with our health insurer. And so they try to make it difficult. They were like, well, you have to get authorization. It was authorized. He's been taking this medicine for years. It was authorized. You guys unauthorized it. So it's just like, so then you have to go and you have to be persistent. And when my husband was talking to the person, I was like, how about you tell them, make sure you make it clear to them that not only is he suicidal and he's depressed and has been for many years, but he also hasn't taken a shower in 5 days. So make it clear that this is not something that's theoretical. So I worked at an HMO. Um, it was not. It was very depressing. Let's just put it that way. So what happens is if you don't get a satisfactory answer, if this happens to you, you start going up the chain of commands. Um, you when you're talking to someone who's like, I'm sorry, but we can't approve it, say, okay, so I understand that you can't change this. Could you please either give me the name of your manager, person in charge of your unit, whatever, or can you escalate my case? And then if they say no, then what you do is you write a letter, not an email, because emails are too easy and they ignore them. You write a letter, get it delivered, um, with whatever the thing is that you have to sign for it. Get one of those so that someone has signed for it, and you write a letter laying out the case, and just everything, all the facts, and also if it seems appropriate and if it seems to make sense, then let's say, so in my case, if I like, it looks like ours is going to work out. Like, it looks like they're going to approve it. They tried to pull a lot of, malarkey, but, where it looks like it's going to get done. But let's just say they refused. What I would do then is, in this case, and this is not going to apply to everyone's situation, but I would write a letter to the CEO of the company and I would explain the situation and I would say, okay, so let's just say, given that our son is suicidal, let's just say he commits suicide. I would say, what do you think that two grief stricken parents who had a lot of time on their hands would decide that they were going to do? I'll give you a clue. What they would decide to do is call press conferences, contact media outlets, and do whatever they had to do to bring attention to the fact that their health insurer didn't think their son's life was worth paying for name brand instead of generic drugs, even with a history of 12 years of being suicidal when severely depressed. So, it's your choice. You either, you think about which is probably the best move for your company and your shareholders. Um, and think about the fact that it is not true that there is no such thing as bad publicity, because there is. And not only will we have plenty of time to contact media outlets and write articles and do lots of different things that will bring attention to the case, but we also will have plenty of time and won't have much trouble finding a sympathetic lawyer who will help us sue for many, many, many millions of dollars in punitive damages. So anyway, let's just think about which is the best move and ultimately probably the cheapest move for your company. So, like I said, you don't, you don't necessarily bring out the big guns right away. But let's just say your health insurer is denying treatment that you have been told. Let's say you or a relative or someone has a life-threatening medical condition, and they're what do you call them? The people who do the insurance calculations and stuff. They're actuaries. have run the numbers and basically said it's cheaper for you to deny this than to possibly, have to deal with the fallout or whatever calculations they make. Um, which is pretty sad when you think about it. But what you have to do is then make that calculation seem like the less attractive proposition. At least in your case. Remember, they're not necessarily making a change in policy. It's unlikely they would be making a change in policy. They're just changing your situation, and it's much less trouble. They'll calculate that the odds are that it makes much more sense to take care of your situation and give you what you want. One window blinds. Oh yeah, that's right. They spread now. Then to run the risk of what could happen, and that's generally the calculation they're going to make. And if they don't, let's say you write to the CEO and they do not go along with it, then what you do is it's not hard to find out who the members of the board are for that company. And what you do is you write them each a letter. So anyway, the problem is a lot of people feel hopeless when they get one of these denials. And especially because the person you're talking to on the other end of the phone, they don't have any power. The first person you talk to in customer service, they have no power. So when I worked in the HMO, I worked in operations, which included customer service. And so my boss, soon after I started, I was an executive assistant for the director of operations. So before I started working for her, there was something that happened in the building where they were doing some varnishing on one end of the building, and somehow it got sucked into the air handling system. And some places like my boss's office got just whacked with it, and she developed lupus. So soon after I started working for her, she got very ill and basically had like months off with a little bit of working from home, but she was not in good shape. So I handled a lot of the phone calls that she would normally get. And a lot of them were people who had been turned down for a treatment, had been not gotten approval for a treatment and worked their way up the chain of command. And so I saw her make that calculation quite a few times. And so the thing is, as I said, the person in the level that you're talking to, they don't have authority. So you have to start working up your way up the chain of command. If you get to someone like a manager or supervisor or something who's just as like, for whatever reason, maybe their bonus depends on it, maybe their job depends on it, they say no to you, then what you do is you just leave that chain of command and go to the top. And that's the way to handle it. And the thing is, along the way, as I said, remember that most of these people don't have power. So you make sure you're scrupulously polite. And sometimes someone will say to you, hey, listen, I can't do anything but like officially, but here's what you can do. Now, wasn't I supposed to paint? Oh yeah, 20 out of, okay, weird. So they may give you some tips if you're nice and you're like, listen, I know I'm not trying to put this on you. I know these are not your policies. I I'm just trying to get this done. So just be polite. Try not to, no matter how stressful your situation is, take a breath. Don't take it out on the person. They probably hate their job already because they deal with a lot of these situations. They're, unless they're a truly nasty person, and that's rare, they're not happy to be telling you no. So just say, listen, I realize this is you don't make the policies. You know what, I'm not doing that. I'm repainting it. You don't make the policies. I totally understand that. Can you tell me what to do? Where do I go next? Can I escalate this? I'm not asking to escalate it because I think you did a crummy job. I'm just asking to escalate it because I know that um you don't have there's no, like, you don't have a choice. You're working within certain parameters. So just, stay polite. As I said, if it's appropriate, then, when you're writing the person at the top, then you just, like I said, lay it out and say, just let's look at this scenario. What do you think is going to happen if, let's say, you're denying my spouse cancer treatment? What do you think I'm going to have? If my spouse dies, I'm gonna be grief stricken, and I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands. What do you think I'm gonna do with that time? Take a wild guess as to what you think, what I probably will do with that time. Um, so, or another option is, my husband was a, I don't think that color works. My husband was a congressional aide, and so he helped a lot of people with this type of thing. So that's the other option, is to possibly contact your local congressman, U.S. congressman's office, or state congressman. It depends. But anyway, so it's don't give up. I know it's really discouraging. I know it's really time consuming to fight this stuff, but don't. It's not hopeless when you get these denials. Just keep trying, and and as I said, just keep going to the top. And if that doesn't go anywhere, then you talk to lawyers. A lot of times they'll do stuff on contingency. So in other words, you don't owe them anything until and unless you win, and then they take a pretty big chunk. But um, but often a letter from a lawyer is enough to you know to get them to get the companies to buckle under. So I just wanted to share that because I know we have a lot of, unfortunately, the three of us have a lot of health problems. Um, but so we've had more experience than I personally would like to have in dealing with this stuff. But yeah, it's don't give up. And I know, especially if you're depressed, it's very hard to find the energy and the energy and the hope to do this. But just keep plugging along and do what you can you know to to fight this, because it definitely is not impossible. And these companies respond to pressure, just like all companies will. They don't want the negative publicity. Because if you just make the situation too hot for them to handle, then it obviously makes sense to give you what you're asking for, instead of getting really bad publicity, because then they have to spend a lot of money paying a company to get them good publicity. So in most cases, it's going to be much cheaper to approve whatever it is you're asking for. Yeah, I don't think that wallpaper goes with that color, but hey, you know, I mean, I don't know. So these rooms, let's see, so what? Okay, same ceiling lamp. So I can sell this one. Mountable short wide curtain. I have a bad feeling about that. Okay, so I think actually what it depends on is what the bed is going to look like. The light, these are horrible lights for this. Why would you want to use these lights? Oh, speaking of, my son is working really late. He said that they had like all this extra work to do, but he gets paid by the hour, so. Elegant light switch. Let's see. Okay, so double bed Teddy. I vaguely remember which one that is. Okay. Well, let's just, I don't know. I guess the brown goes better with the room. Pillows. Yeah, the white doesn't look good. Okay. Wood, I guess let's do cedar. It's still dark in here. I'm gonna put some halogens because it's not even full dark outside, so that's not good. It's a little odd the way they did this doorway, but okay. Oh, the lights weren't on. Oh, for crying out loud. Well, I don't really like them anyway. In fact, I really don't like them. Let's see. So the curtain, what options do we have? Brown? That's a little dark. Golden flowers, no. These just aren't good options. Okay, so we're not gonna do curtains. Well, we're not gonna do those curtains. What about these? I haven't even used these. So we have like no. They're just what, white and black? Oh, I hadn't seen the shutters. That's interesting. So I'm trying to think. So I don't think that color. Maybe. Let me look for curtains. I suppose there's a slight possibility. No, not those. So that would be wide. It could be short or long. I suppose it doesn't matter. Mountable wide curtain. Was that what I just looked at that had no options? Yeah, that was it. Mountable short wide curtain. Same options. I suppose maybe we could do gray flowers. I don't know. See, light colored wide. What do we have? Cream. Ah, that would be nice. Okay, let's try that. I think that would be nice. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, it's not like fantastic exciting. Let's see if I can find a brown, like a lighter brown. Um, okay. Dark colored wide curtains. Ooh, that doesn't look good. The brown looks dark. Okay. Um, well, let's see what the brown looks like. It's hard to tell. I mean, it looks dark, but that's weird the way the screws are disappearing. Yeah, it's not. It's like a reddish brown. It's not right. So I'm not crazy about the cream, but I think it's either that or white. Cream, coffee. Oh, geez, no. Not pastel rose, obviously. And that, no. Okay. Um, let's try the white. Give it a shot. I realize that the one they want us to use is white, but at this point I'm not sweating the details as much. I think the cream's better. Okay. So, yeah, I don't love it, but you know, it is what it is. Now, what do they want us to do as far as a rug? I'm afraid to look. Is it going to be the fuzzy one or none? Possibly none, I guess. Okay. Um. Okay, the door, easy. Bedside cabinet. Um. Let's do mahogany, maybe. Is that too dark? Maybe it's a little too dark. Coarse dark oak. No. I don't know if I want to do well, let's see how the cedar looks with, I don't know, I guess cream metal. That's looks lighter. It looks lighter than the bed. That's the problem. Consistency of the colors is not great. So what's Forest dark oak, cool ash? Um, could do lighter, like much lighter, and then it wouldn't look. The beach might be nice. It's very light. Okay. Um, let's do the mahogany, I think, or the coarse dark oak. Coarse dark oak kind of matches the wallpaper to some extent. Okay, let's do that. What am I going to put on the wall? You have to have something there. Is there anything? What? No, that absolutely does not go in this room. What are really? I mean, I like what? That's not even close. Not even close. I mean, come on. I think I'm gonna stick. Should I do white or cream? Let's do cream to try to pick up the curtains. Could I have changed the pillows on the bed? Probably could have. Shoot. And you know what? Honestly, maybe I'll try to do a darker. Okay. Pillows. Oh, I could have. So what color is that? It's a little dark, but maybe, no, let's try to do one lighter. If I have to, I'll go back to cedar instead of go with that color. That's just way too dark. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of torn. Uh, there really isn't a good Brazil nut. Yeah, let's do Brazil nut. Um, okay. Okay, so I think it's better without the white. I like the white, but I think this is more blends together better. Okay, so we have to put up one of those um put up one of those dressers. No, not dressers, bureaus, wardrobes. I bet they have coarse dark oak, brown oak, American oak, dark ash, cool ash, deep. Oh, here it is. Okay. And if it didn't come through, by the way, when I was talking about this, do not, don't be afraid to talk to someone who's depressed about whether they are suicidal. It is not going to put the thought in their head. Okay. It's not going to take them from not thinking about suicide to where they're like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It's just not. It's not gonna spur them to, either they're already thinking about it and they feel ashamed for thinking about it and tormented, and talking to someone who's like, hey, no, there's no judgment here. Your brain is doing stuff to you, and so it is what it is, and I want you to talk to me about it. I don't want you to feel embarrassed. This is, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Just be very matter of fact about it. This is one of like the last major taboos, and that's one of the big problems, is that people just feel like they shouldn't be talking about it, and people go ahead and kill themselves. You know, I mean, this is not, it obviously is not helping that no one's talking about it, and people don't know if they should talk about it or not. So trust me, if you talk to anyone who's been struggling with suicidal thoughts, and ask them, hey, and say, hey, I know you may not want to talk about it, but I just want you to know you can talk to me about it. And I may not understand what you're going through, and I'm definitely not claiming that I can understand. But I want you to feel like you can just talk to someone, and it might make you feel better. You might want to have someone who you can call and say, "Hey, I'm really scared because I'm it's starting to be something I think about all the time. I'm not sure what to do." And actually, as soon as they say that they have specific, like, plans and ideas about how they would do it, that's when they need to probably go to the emergency room. At the very least, you need to contact their doctor, because they should have a doctor, hopefully. Um, Contact their doctor and be like, hey, here's the deal. So, but it's not something you should be afraid to bring up. There is just way too much freaking furniture in here again. Why do they do this? Okay, so I guess the books are supposed to go in there. We're not doing this. There's just way too much furniture in here. Doesn't make sense. So we're going to move this out here. This is going to go over here. Now, I recognize that they do not have anywhere to put their clothes. But we have the choice, we have the choice between the desk and the wardrobe. So I guess, to be logical here, So we can do one or the other. We can't do both. Most of the items, there are more items that seem to go. Oh my God, they did want us to put this furry carpet in. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I'd say the desk, there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to go in because of the desk. Let's keep the desk and the bookcase because there's both stuff. The wardrobe is just by itself. We also need to find a rug. I think, let's see. That I don't think is the right color. I think we should find one that's cream, if possible. There are a lot of patterns in here, so I don't really want to... What does this look like? No, that's very small. Well, and it does look like a bath rug. That's too bad. Okay, so... Oh, I found this on the workshop. I thought it was really cool, especially because it looks like it's chenille. This Get Naked for, you know, for a bathroom rug. Makes sense. Okay, so we don't have a cream fur rug. I think the fur would be fun, but we don't have a cream one. What about the gray? Maybe I should... No, I think if it was darker, sure. I think we're better off with the cream. Definitely. Let's see. This one is such an interesting color. I don't think it's right for this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it doesn't. Does it not fit? It's really big, isn't it? Is it like just a tiny bit too big? Or is it the bed? Oh, shoot. I was hoping I wouldn't have to. Yeah, where am I going to put this? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. It turned green. Very surprising. Okay. So let's see if by any slight chance. Now we could do... I think I'm in the way again. Could do that. I don't think that's ideal for... Oh, okay. We can do this. There. I think I like that. It's a very strange combination, but I think I like it. Okay, so we'll put the bookcase here. And then we'll put the desk over here. Oh, and we should turn these on. Forgot about that part. Okay, so put the desk over here. The desk has a lot of stuff on it. Now, I mean, we could put a dresser, a small one, chest of drawers, whatever you want to call it. This here. We could put one over there. I don't know. That wall looks really empty. But let's see. We could scoot this a little over. Not too much because, oh no, it seems like someone would have trouble getting by then. Okay. Yeah, so that's fine. And then the chair. I don't know. I think I'd rather go with cream. Oh, I don't like that for the base. That looks really weird. Dark brown. How about that? Yeah. And then we have a laptop. And a lamp. So we want to do that in cream too, I think. Oh, let's see. So the American Elm, no, that's really light. Deep chestnut, but with a cream top. Turn that on. So as usual, I am not doing what I'm supposed to be doing in this. Okay, so then we can put some stuff over here. So, but I am going to finish the job, right? I think I already passed that point, so I'm good. Okay, so the door, duh. See this? We just are putting in one set, I guess. Brown. Okay. Well, I guess they didn't know I was going to use a brown bookcase, so. Oh, and a TV. Okay. Well, that's problematic. Is this a wall hanging TV? I mean, I could put it up there. No reason not to. There. Let's do some more books, I think. We're not putting that poster up. Jeez. Let's see. Classic book set. Oh, that's not cheap, but sure. Because, you know, why not? I know why not, because I'm using a budget that I don't know. What do we put in here? Cheaper books, I think. Okay. Yeah, let's do sort by price ascending. So, yeah, let's throw a couple bookends in just for fun. And this is from the workshop, you may have guessed. Yeah, these things can be a real pain. Shelves. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Book. Oh my God, I'm just gonna check and see if our son has texted. Nope, he may have stopped by our friends, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh, cheap, very cheap. Maybe I should sell the other ones. See, like we literally had this conversation last night. I was telling him that my husband had been talking to the health insurance company and we're pretty sure that it was going to get approved, and you know, so he's like, don't worry, I'm not going to do anything stupid. So, well, okay, so those are great and cheap, but they can't fit. So yeah, I mean, the main thing is keeping the lines of communication open. It's really, really important. So you know, it's that's not possible if you're worried about talking to them and using the S word. So, but yeah, I mean, this whole thing, you know, insurance companies are very cold-blooded. Um, they do not have your best interest at heart. They are all publicly traded, so their main concern is making money for their shareholders because their own jobs live or die on whether the stock price is healthy or not. So, yep, it's a calculation. So let's put up a mirror. I love mirrors. And sort by newest. I don't love any of the new mirrors, so I'm like, you know, I'm gonna stick with my you know, I'm gonna try to not use the same ones over and over, but I'm gonna, you know, when I think it's appropriate, I'm gonna stick with the ones that I think work well. Like this, I think works well there. So I would say maybe a poof over here, poof or some kind of bench, or yeah, like this bench, for instance, is nice. Let's see what that is. Burn Beach. Teak's a little light. I don't know. Primary color. So that's the cushions. I think that's fine. And then I think there's no way that spike. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I think would look good here. You know, honestly, and I do not like those overhead lights. Oh, I think that is that him. Nope. Okay, so I feel like this is not lined up, the TV. You know why it's not? Is because the desk isn't lined up. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, let's just do that. And I feel like we could use something over here, like a print. I don't know if there's anything from the workshop. Ooh, I like those. They're too small, though. Let's see about this one. It's too small. Need something bigger. I think actually we might be able to find something in here. I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I think. I don't know. It can't be busy because of that wallpaper. So that's the problem. I think that's too busy. Rats. Wait a minute. These are too small. There was one up here. What about this one? Yeah, I think that's nice. It's a little tough to find something because so let me see. I'm gonna throw a plant or two, like a couple couple ferns or something around. Let's see. Yeah. And then, you know, let's see if by any chance we can put like a nice pillow or two, just like solid color pillow on the bed. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So this would be nice. It's not gonna work, is it? No, it's not. I think I felt like I was stuck. Okay, so it's not gonna work on there. However, works on there. Okay, and then let's put some Echeveria in on the on here on the windowsill. And I think we need a couple more halogens. well, we're fine over there. So yeah. Um, and the door. I'm surprised this room took so long. I suppose I could have just zipped through and not really thought about it too much. So I guess I don't have any doors up here, so I guess I could just go with what I want. Let's go with the coarse dark oak because those walls in the hall are pretty dark. So yeah, that's fine. It's not, it doesn't recognize the door. So something that seems, at least I can't, yeah, it seems like you can no longer move the doors once you've installed them, which is bad. So, yeah, because the game seems to be pickier about how far in a door is in a room before it recognizes it. So now, okay, it's not recognizing that door. So I have to bring it all the way in. So I don't know if that's something that I'm doing wrong. I will always admit that possibility. Or if it's something with the game. See, I had to get it like all the way in. The only problem is, I mean, have they changed it? Maybe they've changed the doors. Okay, well, anyway. So that's it for this stream. I'm done with the room and I'm going to take a short break, come back and um do the other rooms. And that's that. So then I just want to say thank you for everyone who's watching either now or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I know I did a lot of rambling about health insurers and stuff like that, and I just was hoping that it'll be helpful to someone, especially because what with inflation and everything, I know a lot of people are just, it's things are not as easy as they were a year ago as far as being able to afford things. So anyway, but I hope you're all doing well and taking care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.